Well, this is a topic that affects pretty much everyone. The risks of what you're posting on social media. It could cost you your job.
Randolph Rice, managing partner with Rice Law, is here to talk about it. And, you know, I get the sense that there are going to be some younger people home going, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to. They don't want you to tell them what they can post and what they can't.
Well, that's right. And, you know, a lot of times it's the younger people who don't want to hear this information, but it's the parents who need to probably be stepping in and saying, hey, let's talk about this because this can get you in a lot of trouble if you do the wrong thing.
Okay.
And what are the sorts of posts that could ultimately be very costly for somebody down the line?
So let's look at two different categories. The first is students. That's very important. We want to make sure that students are not posting things that are offensive or racist or could be something that affects another group of people, because it can affect a couple things. One, it could get you kicked out of your current school.
Right.
A lot of kids are looking to go off to college, right? Next year, they're worried about going to college. Colleges look at these things. I even had somebody tell me the other day that their college actually requests to follow them, their social media accounts, when they get accepted. So college kids may be posting things thinking, it's innocuous, it's not a big deal. The college sees it and calls it and says, can't be doing that, right? That's a big one, all right? Number two is employers. Employers or potential employers could be looking at what you're posting online. So if you're going to apply for a job, a potential employer may check your social media to see what you're putting on there. And if they see that, they might say, you know, this is really not the person we want in our office, or this is somebody who might cause trouble, and therefore we're not going to offer them a job, or we're going to call back that job offer.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how far do you think you need to go back, maybe purge some things, clean up some things? How far do you think they're not going back just this summer?
They can go back as far as they want. And here's the other problem is that while we all think that deleting things oftentimes will get rid of them, remember, screenshots don't get deleted, and there's certain apps out there that archive information on social media. So you've got to be really careful about what you post now, that it's going to be there forever. Remember that whatever you put on the internet now, it's always going to be there.
Right.
And for parents maybe wanting to talk to their kids about this, how do you recommend they have these conversations?
Yeah, this is always a tough conversation because kids are so, I wouldn't say addicted, but they're obviously got this all the time. Right, it's always in their life. You sit down and you say, look, here are consequences that could, if you do certain things, this could happen to you. And talk to them and say, hey, look, show them this segment and say, look, you know, we know of kids who have put things online, and the school has come back and said, we're not going to bring you back, or we're not going to have you come to our school next year because we're concerned about the things that you're talking about online.
Okay. Now talk to us about the adults now. You know, there are a lot of neighborhood sites, Facebook is still notorious for it. People want to get on, they want to vent, they want to talk about everything.
Yeah.
There is still there's a fine line there.
Yeah, there is a fine line, because you can get in trouble with the things you put online. For example, defamation, slander. If you put things online that aren't true, that hurt somebody else, you theoretically could be opened up to a civil lawsuit. They could come after you and try to get money from you. Now, there has to be some sort of damages. You have to do some harm to that person. But still, if you put those things online, you are exposing yourself to civil litigation.
All great reminders. Yeah, you need to think twice. Yes.
You know, people think they're so anonymous when they're online. They're doing things.
Not anymore. Nowadays, everybody is tracked, and you've really got to be careful. Here's a good tip. Count to 10 before you hit that send button and think, is this really worth me posting because it's going to get me in trouble?
Right.
That sounds
Take
good.
a couple breaths.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Walk away, come back to it.
Yeah.
And if they do get in trouble, well, we know who to call.
That's right. Well, they give us a ring, we'll help you out. So.
Randolph Rice, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks.
All right. Enjoy these hot, humid days.
I know.
Advice with Rice, brought to you by Rice Law.